or a hobby. That could be considered a career. Being a full-time student could be a career. Being a Toastmaster is a career. Trust me, I know. So does she. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to just tell you a little story about a boy whose name was Maurice, growing up in Boston, and how he came to change his career. And hopefully it will help you. Come with me. Once upon a time, Maurice had a cousin Buddy. There he is, that's Buddy. The only picture I could find of him right now. Buddy was his older cousin, and he handed down his shoe shine box when Maurice was 10. Well, a shoe shine box from cousin Buddy, that's like hitting the lottery, at the 7-Eleven. So Maurice went out to shine shoes. What Buddy didn't tell Maurice was how dangerous it could be out there. He gave me the box. I was also overjoyed. He showed me how to shine shoes. I still remember it. But like I said, he didn't tell me how dangerous it was. And having a career can be dangerous. Well, growing up in the city of Boston, in Charlestown, a.k.a. the town for you movie people, it was not easy. I got chased after, robbed, beat up. Who cares? A few beatings, right? Then I saw a man get shot and killed. That kind of stung. And that was, maybe I don't want to be out here. Well, my dad told me never go back there again shining shoes. And I said, okay, I will not. But I didn't change a career then. I went back out the next Saturday, right after school, shine, because that's how we made our money back then. But what I did do is, I got a job selling newspapers and delivering newspapers. That was not as dangerous. At least I was walking. I could hide in the hallways when I saw the bullies coming up, and I can get away from them because I didn't carry cash with me. It was pretty simple. So now I got a shoe shine and selling papers. By the time I was 12, I had 2 jobs at the same time. I was a two-person job. I took dancing lessons when I was a little boy. My family did, my sister, my 2 brothers. I loved dancing. For 6 years I danced. The last 2 years I led the recital. This is why I have James Cagney up there. My favorite movie is Yankee Doodle Dandy. When he danced down those steps in the White House, that was me. I wanted to do that. I wanted to do it. I had the opportunity to do it later on in life, believe it or not, and I did it, just not at the White House. At 13, I got a job as a dishwasher. And I love being in the kitchen. I really did, especially in Boston, where it's cold, the kitchen is warm. Slopping dishes around, I didn't mind because it was money, 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 money. And I can go out and I could buy my ice cream, buy my friend's ice cream, buy clothes. I was buying clothes when I was 13, 14 years old for myself. I loved it. And I get to work in the Boston Naval Shipyard. And you see this right there? That's the USS Constitution. That is the oldest registered battleship in the world. That building behind there, that was the Officers Club. That's where Maurice worked, as a dishwasher. And then he learned how to wash pots and pans. And although he hated it, but JoJo taught him that if he does it the right way, he'll have time to go learn how to hold a knife and help Nick. Nick was the chef. And then Nick would teach him how to do different things with the knives. And so Maurice took that on because there was something else in the back of Maurice's mind too, because he knew Nick's girlfriend upstairs was so beautiful that if he was a cook, maybe he could have a girlfriend too one day. It starts young, ladies. In high school, I was the hippie in high school. Because growing up in Charlestown, it was an Irish Catholic beer drinking town. I didn't fit in. I didn't like beer. That was a no-no. I didn't go to church all the time, but I lied and said I did. Then I went to confession and confessed my lie. I think the priest was more confused than I was, so I felt okay. So there is Maurice the hippie.
Wow.
Yeah, but I wasn't alone in high school because I had a girlfriend, Mary the hippie. Now, when you look back on your lives, you ever find those few people that really had an impact on your lives? Would it be Mary, my girlfriend at the time, or maybe Johnny, your boyfriend at the time, or a parent or an uncle, whatever it may be? Those are the things that I like to think about because it gets me through life. This is me in a rock and roll band. I could have been a musician. When I was in this band, we opened up for Aerosmith. Yes, we did. Nobody knew who they were, not even us. They hadn't cut their first record yet. But we opened up for Aerosmith. They were the bigger boys. We get up and sang our 3 songs. House of Rising Sun, Gloria, and Get Me Back on Time. I don't even know what that is. In high school, I got a job after school driving to a company called Allied Plywood. Now, Allied Plywood, I mean, that was a pretty cool job. After school, 5, 6 hours. But then I had to go pick up packages that weren't being delivered by UPS because they were not on strike. And I thought, I got to cross this line. And, you know, Charlestown is a union place. I mean, you don't cross union lines. Now I'm torn between, do I cross the line and break the union or do I go in and get the package and what do I do? I was confused because my dad was a union man for 26 years and everybody I knew was a union man. But I had an obligation to my boss, even though I didn't like him. Darren was you've all had him, okay? So I crossed the picket line, got the package, got it in the car, driving back, and the reason I have that car up there, that's a Country Squire, because that's all I ever drove for this company. They had like 12 of them. Take the green one, take the white one, whatever it was, but it was cool. Well, that's me. See, that's a portrait of me. Mopping the floor, because after high school, I was trying to get by on the savings I've had from all the jobs I've had, but I started running out of money. I mean, being a hippie going to concert was pretty cool, but it cost me money to go. So my cousin Buddy, remember him, the guy who put me to work? He asked me if I wanted a job at the First National Foods warehouse, where he worked as an electrician. And I said, really, a warehouse? That's what my dad did. I don't want to work in a warehouse. He says, well, it pays $8 an hour. Okay, I'll work in a warehouse. So I got the job in the warehouse as a janitor. 6 months later, I put a bid in to become a painter. Because that's what you do with the unions. That's why unions are so good, right? You can bid for jobs and get them. So then I became a painter in the warehouse. Then the guy who left, whose job I took, came back, and he bumped me. This is why I have a problem with unions sometimes. And I became a stacker. I stacked water and soda on the graveyard shift. Well, I didn't like that because working graveyard, that interfered with my party time. I mean, we didn't go out till 10 o'clock at night. So working 11 to 7 didn't quite fit my schedule. But I knew then it was time to change careers. So I gave my 2-week notice. Once I gave my 2-week notice, I started getting a lot of flack from the workers. One guy in a forklift said, you better stick with the union and stay here, you hippie. You'll never get a job in the kitchen. Of course, you look good in an apron with that long hair, Mary. He called me Mary, and he probably thought I was going to be upset, but I thought, do I look like my girlfriend? He didn't know Mary. Well, because I did know Mary, Mary's uncle owned Jenny's Pizza in Charlestown. Got me a job. Her mom worked there, taught me everything I needed to know about pizza. Then I got a phone call one day from somebody, and they said, there's an apprenticeship open at Lockover Cafe in Boston. I said, really? What's Lockover Cafe? I had no idea. But I went down and applied for the job, and I got it. That was the beginning of me understanding what it was like to be a cook. Because I understood that macaroni and cheese was not real food in the day. But if you are going to make it, please use Kraft. All right? Jenny's Pizza, Lockover Cafe. So now I've had all these careers changing and not even knowing it because we just do these things. We get unhappy where we are. When we're unhappy, we change. Sometimes we leave. Hopefully we never storm out of a place, but that happens too. And if we focus on what we're doing at the time and not what we want to do, sometimes it works out better for us. Sometimes we can understand why we're leaving. So when I left there, went to Cafe L'Orange, then I went to modeling school. Because Mary says, you should be a model. And I was like, are you kidding? Why? Oh, no. So she convinced me, so I went to modeling school. I became a graduate of John Robert Powers. I'm a model. Then I got a free ticket to San Diego. When I got that ticket to San Diego, I flew out to San Diego, and I got a job in 2 restaurants. That's me on the plane. Then I went to cosmetology school to be a manicurist, to get a license. I did. Go ahead, laugh all you want, guys, because I got paid to hold the ladies' hands. Laugh all you want. Up to Big Bear Lake, I worked 3 jobs again, construction. After working construction up there, I was with my brother-in-law laying brick, Jimmy Fragane sandblasting houses, and Brian Malloy painting houses. Unbelievable. And I had worked in 2 restaurants because up in Big Bear, I encountered a girlfriend, a wife, a child, and got married, in that order. All within 2 years. So by this time, you know, Maury is no longer Maury, he's Maurice. Joins the Marriott Corporation, flies up to San Jose, works there for a year, then he went on to work in Maui, La Jolla, Palm Desert. I mean, you know, someone's got to live in these places. I mean, you guys like to visit, we have to be there to cook for you. So, to make the story a little bit enticing, I encourage all of you, if you do feel that you need to change your careers, don't feel trapped. Because once you feel trapped, you're not going to get out. And if you do, you come out with anger. When I left the Yosemite Marriott Hotel, I left because of a disagreement. Not because I was angry. And it was there where I walked out the side door thinking, okay, what am I going to do now? And they have these big stone steps that lead down to the parking lot. As I started walking down those steps, guess what I started doing?
Yep.
And I started singing, I Am a Yankee Doodle, because I knew it was the right thing to do. So I continued to change careers. At 45, I decided that it was time to leave the kitchen. I walked in my office, I was in Missouri, and I looked at my wall of encouragement that I put up there for the kids, and I started reading everything for the first time in years, my certificates, the medals, the awards, and the pictures, and the people I spent time with, and I said, I am so tired. I can't do this. And I sat in my chair, and I did a wager fee. It's an acronym. Where are you going in 5 years? I sat down in my chair, put my feet up on the desk, which is something I never, ever do. And I could not think of what I was going to do because I could not see myself in a chef company. I came to LA in 1999, and I told the chef I was working with at the Hillcrest Country Club, you have me for 5 years because I'm 45, when I'm 50, I'm leaving the kitchen. He said, great, what are you going to do? I said, I don't know. Boy, did he laugh. Chefs, we never leave kitchens. You'll be here forever. And I've known Brian for 30 years before this. 5 years later, I left the Hillcrest Country Club with a real estate sales license. From there, I went to Koreatown, got my broker's license. I change careers all the time because I don't prepare for it. I've been prepared since he gave me a shoe shine box. And with the miracle of magic, you can all do the same thing, and you can all live happily ever after. Mrs.